Hello everybody, Perfect Storm 479 here. Oh no. Ah, there it is. Sorry. Forgot to mute uh mod view. Anyway, welcome back to Xenoblade X. Last week we have this happened. Earth got destroyed. We crash landed on Mira, and Elma took us to New LA. This time we're gonna take a look around the city and we're just gonna see what's going on. We're probably gonna do chapters 1 and 2 today, if hopefully there's time. Uh, Aside from that, I just want to say, if you look in chat, I've got this message, at least on the stream. So, my college's Wi-Fi has been spotty a bit recently. Somebody has been using an unauthorized router or something, and it's just been messing up with the whole system. IT is working on it, but they still haven't quite fixed it yet. After everything, I want to know if my stream has gone smoothly, and if it has, great. I'll I will, what am I gonna do? I am going to save to make sure we got that, and if it's not, then I'll reset so we can get back. And you won't have to miss anything. Alright. Ready? Go. And just a disclaimer, I'm not always going to be doing this from the title screen. This time I am, because it's going to send us directly into a cutscene. If you were here last week, I was worried that we were going to miss the cutscene because it was forced to do that and I accidentally skipped part. But since I didn't save after that, it'll send us to before. So without further ado, let's get started.
How about a quick tour of the facilities to refresh your memory? Let's start with your living quarters. Follow me.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles, good day. This is your Director General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I once again come to you with news I am truly delighted to share. Yesterday, we repatriated 10 more White Whale crew members. These fellow pioneers will rejoin our ranks as citizens of NLA, bringing with them skills and know-how that will bolster our ability to survive and indeed flourish here in our new home. This, of course, is only the latest success in our continuing efforts.
Director General? Since when?
For the rescue and recovery
2 days ago, ma'am.
of brothers and sisters. I stand here truly
From political aide to director general in just a few weeks. At this rate, he'll be emperor by next month.
for a better NLA and a
Irina? Gwyn?
Nice work out there, ma'am.
So I'm gonna comment on what just happened. So with Shosun, it feels like they're setting up for like some sort of political intrigue plot. They don't. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. At least to my knowledge, they do not. I don't remember them doing it, and I did most of the stuff in this game. It probably would not have been in it. So, are we going to show interest to these people and look puzzled? Well, these two are some of these two I did not really like on the first impression, but I think they got better as they went on. I don't remember, so we're gonna show interest.
Right. Introductions. Irina Akulov, Gwyn Evans.
This one of the survivors, Colonel?
The survivor. I only found a single pod intact at Starfall Basin.
Wait, what? What happened to 10 more crew members?
Come on, seriously? Shosan was never one to let the truth get in the way of a good speech. Still, every last survivor counts. You can call me Irina. I'm with the Interceptors.
Me too. Same division. You can call me Mr. Evans. Or just Gwyn.
The three of us were in the Coalition forces together. Specifically, the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit, aka the Skeleton Crew. I was a colonel and Irina a lieutenant. Gwyn was a more recent recruit. Of course, I keep telling them we don't need those old ranks anymore now that we're here.
You're still Colonel to me, ma'am. No reorg will ever change that. And that's not about chain of command either. It's about respect. You've earned it.
And the award for best ass kiss goes to...
Well, I'd remind you both the ma'ams aren't necessary if I thought you'd listen.
All right, ma'am. We should be getting back to work. Until next time, Colonel.
Right. We should be going too. The administrative district isn't far. That's where you'll be calling home. For now, anyway.
And Gwyn's last line of dialogue there is why I did not have a good first impression. Anyway. As we can see here, we're finally in New Los Angeles. We've got towers, we've got planes, we've got plenty of things to explore, and most importantly, okay, they'll let you go all around here. We've got barriers to keep us on the right path. It's interesting that they build the barrier like that, because like, just why is this part to the side? Oh, they probably don't want you jumping in, but I don't see why they couldn't have just built a smaller barrier. Yeah, despite this game being open world, there are a couple barriers. I don't know if we have time to talk to everyone, but since we just got here...
Really?
Welcome to the Industrial District, where we laborers work ourselves to the bone building new LA for everyone else to enjoy. Sorry, did that sound grumpy? No, it did not. Here we've got Burnett.
Hey.
Let's see what he's got to say. Hey, you're the new guy, aren't you? The new crew member that Elma found, right? I was wondering what sort of person you'd be. You're a handsome one, that's for sure. Yes, sir, I like the cut of your jib. Well, welcome to New LA. We're happy to have you. I'm sure there are all sorts of stuff you have to do before you get situated, eh? Paperwork and whatnot? In that case, you can just hop right into that transport that's idling over there, and it'll take you straight to the admin district. Sorry, I did not want to trip over the word administrative. Seriously, I wasn't even hitting it that time. That really is an interesting barrier. I wonder how much they actually tested that to see how good the boundaries were. As you can see here, we've got this mech here. This package was meant to go to Blade Tower. It's the only the biggest building in town, so I don't know how you could mess that up. It is. We can see it right there. It's got the number on it. We've got some epic lights and some pretty good rain. Graphics in this are better than I remember. This game's strong suit is not its graphics, if you ask me. If you go over here, we're probably gated from this, even though at where it reaches this point, it's gonna block us off. It's not. I was surprised that they used the physical gate here. I don't know. One time I went around and exploring all the gating in the early areas. Welcome to New Los Angeles. Interesting. The first continent is gated off. It is, I mean, Primordia is the only continent we can go on at the beginning. The before you enter NLA, it has a second gate, and that is gated off. And until an early chapter, there's a certain section of Primordia that's gated off. Once we get to chapter 3, though, we'll have pretty much free range. There might be one last place that's gated off, but I haven't actually checked because it's pretty remote. Let's talk to Anna.
Wow, let's see.
I heard gunshots and some sort of dying wail from the other side of the west gate. I guess one of the teams must have been fighting with an indigen? I really hope they finally took out the aggressive indigens that have been causing problems just outside the city. Because in that case, we should be able to reopen the west gate soon. Yeah, we should also shrink the chat a little further so that it's not covering your dialogue. On to the next cutscene.
Damn it!
Look, I know what exhaust smells like, and it was exhaust in the cockpit. Just check the ductwork, would ya?
Oh, I'm checking. I just seriously doubt. Hey, look at that! The intake exhaust bypass is reversed. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught that.
You caught that? You're the one who cleared me to fly.
Everything okay? It's not like you to flub a flight check, Lynn. Good thing you had a rugged pilot like Doug at the controls.
Oh, hey Elma. How'd it go out there? And would this be one of the you-know-who's? Cool. I'm
Not
Lynn
cool.
Lee Koo, mechanic and top all-around fix-it gal for Blade.
Alright, everyone asks how old she is. We're gonna go a little different. We're gonna find out what happened with the exhaust.
Yeah, well that, doesn't usually happen.
We know it doesn't, Lynn. Look, I know what you're thinking. But believe me, young as she may look, and yes, she is young, she's actually one of our top talents.
They're gonna tell us
Most of the
anyway.
time, that is. Most of the time.
Anyway, you guys heading back to the barracks?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
As long as you're here, why don't I take you on the transport? It's a great way to see the city. I'll give you the grand tour.
That sounds like a great idea.
All right, Doug, I think that'll be all for today. You can clean up here and dock the Skell.
What?
Don't mind the exhaust. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Don't mind it? Wait, why am I cleaning up your mess in the first place? Lynn! Lynn!
Alright, so we're about to get Lynn. So, okay, I was surprised they actually didn't do both. I think they might have done both the last time, but I don't know. Usually I go with the other choices in these dialogue branches, and I really think it's only changing like the first 2 lines of dialogue we hear. Most of those cutscenes have been the same. So for contest, Lynn is 13. I don't know, do I want to go into... I don't want to go into the controversy. I am sorry. Information is not going to be full. If you want to find out, just look up Xenoblade X censorship. My take is that they just shouldn't have had it to begin with, and the censored version should have been what was also in the Japanese version. And I just want to move on, so we just unlocked Lynn as a new character. I don't know if we should talk about her mechanically now or until we can actually fight again. Let's go now. So, basically with all our side characters, they each have some special stuff on top of having like voice acting, or I don't know. With each of our side characters, they've got some special stuff going on. Primarily, we have each one has 2 signature arts. For Elma, these are Shadow Strike. This deals weapon damage and inflicts stagger with boosted damage from behind. It's pretty good, just combining 2 features. And then we've also got Ghost Factory, and this is one of the best arts in the game. So what Ghost Factory does is it grants Decoy, and Decoy is this really handy buff that, while it's active, lets you evade pretty much anything. Normal Full Metal Jaguars, which is almost class, have Ghost Walker, which just does decoy to yourself. In high level play, it doesn't really matter if you're using Walker or Factory, because you can pretty much solo anything. But if you're not, Ghost Factory is really great because it grants decoy to your whole team, and just having everyone basically invincible for a bit is good. And you might think, if you can use this really, really fast, like before it wears off, wouldn't that be overpowered and make you invincible? Yes. So surely they would not have made it so you can do that. Well, you can. It takes a bit of setup, and it's not much setup. We'll see how it works later on. But yeah, you can basically make yourself invincible for the whole time. Now, let's get started. The longer you're with someone, the deeper your affinity for each other grows, and the more you fight together, the stronger your bond will be. Oh yeah, that's an important mechanic. They sure like doing mechanic stuff with this. Can we go here? Nope, that's what I thought. Yeah. They want you to go here because we're basically gonna get a sky tour. I don't care what she has to say. I don't care what you have to say. Let me just get out my stopwatch for a second, because I wonder if it actually takes longer to run through the streets than it does to go through. I'm wondering if this cutscene is longer than actually going through the streets. So, let's go. Is it longer to watch the cutscene or to just run from here to the tower manually.
Not bad, huh? You can see everything from up here.
It beats walking, that's for sure.
The best way to see NLA. I never get tired of this view. It's like a different city every time.
It's certainly come a long way in the last few weeks. There's still so much to be done.
One day at a time.
Speaking of which, we don't really have time for a full pleasure cruise here. Why don't you give us the express tour, Lynn? Just the highlights.
Okay, you got it.
Sure we don't.
New LA is divided into 4 districts. We departed from the industrial district, where Doug and I were conducting the flight test. It has food production, skill development, you know, industries and stuff.
It's also where the West Gate is located, remember? Expect to pass through there fairly often. The only other gate out of the city is in the administrative district, but I'm skipping ahead.
Next is the commercial district. Restaurants, galleries, cafes, clothing, groceries, you name it. It's a veritable shopping paradise.
The CD is the closest thing to a downtown we've got. It can actually get pretty crowded sometimes.
Well, by NLA standards anyway. Day or night, the best and only bargains on the planet. To your right, the residential district. Housing, housing, and more housing. Well, plus a nice park and the cathedral.
If you're ever looking for quiet time alone, or want to relax and unwind with a good book, that's the spot.
Right? The park is my favorite place to just zone out and chill. And last but not least, our destination, the administrative district, the nerve center at the heart of NLA. Note the distinct dual-level structure here. The upper level holds our administrative tower, home to Blade HQ and the government. Not to mention Armory Alley as well as the barracks where we live. The lower level there is a hangar complex for Skell maintenance and repairs. And this concludes our tour. We will be landing shortly.
Thanks, Lynn. We'll save the rest of orientation for once we're back at the barracks.
Alright, we got 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
Enjoy your stay in the administrative district, and thank you for flying Linley Airlines.
Right. Let's get you over to the barracks. Then I should file my report. They'll be eager to hear the details on how I found you, I'm sure.
Well then, we better not keep them waiting. The barracks are pretty close, actually. They're set up just behind the giant blade tower here. That road there wraps around the left side and leads right to it.
We'll pass through Armory Alley, but let's not get sidetracked, okay? We can check it out later.
Okay. So that was basically a description of NLA. We can't actually go to it right now, and I don't think we're going to explore it until next episode. Right now, we are just focusing on story stuff. So I forgot that I didn't show us Lynn's oh, we got gotta see what Lynn's skill voices are. I didn't see what Lynn's arts are. Her specialty arts. So we've got Fire Carnival. It deals thermal damage. It hits several times, and the nice thing about it is that it doesn't say this in game, but according to Wiki, it targets all enemy appendages. I don't know if it means that the hits damage all appendages at once, or each individual hit will go to a different appendage, but yeah. And then her next special art is did we skip it? Drum roll. And this deals weapon damage, it does physical res down, and it boosts damage in melee combos. It's pretty, I don't know how to say it. I'm not an art connoisseur. I'm pretending to be an expert here. Full disclosure. So, while on topic, let's see what upgrades we can get for our characters. We don't have any skills available for Elma. Do we have any? We don't have any for Lynn. We don't have any for Perfect. Let's see Lynn's soul voices. Or as we can see, Elma primarily does melee. Lynn's got a mix of buffs and ranged. Honestly, I don't consider these in builds, so let's get art upgrades now that we have our chance. So we've got this. We've got taunt, physical res up. We've got flame grenade, topple up, stagger. Let's upgrade this. I don't think we can upgrade anything else right now. Oh, we can upgrade infuriate. Do I want to though? Probably not. I'm not gonna be tanking, so. Elma, we have upper hand, critical power. I don't know what that does. We've got stream edge, deals weapon damage, boosts damage in ranged combos. We've got shadow strike. This is a TP arts do a lot more damage. Sliding Slinger deals weapon damage and boosts tension from the side. Raises critical power, boosts critical chance, boosts invasion. Alright, we're gonna upgrade Stream Edge, Shadow Strike, Early Bird, and Sliding Slinger. We're not gonna upgrade this considering that Early Bird renders it pretty redundant. Lynn has less battle points than Elma, which is unfortunate. I think we can do everything. So let's just... Wait, we've got... Yeah, we can do everything. And we'll have exactly 0. Oh, we've got 2! I'm surprised. Alright, I thought TP arts did 6. Oh yeah, should probably explain. Arts that see TP under them need 1000 TP to use. Keep that in mind when you're putting them on. TP, if you're building right, TP should be easy to get, so it's not much of a concern. But just things to keep in mind. Let's talk to Stella. We're gonna be... So, I think Stella shows up in some important side quests, so let's talk about it. We officers are aware that not all of New LA's citizens are on board with Director General Chauson's policies, but the more we allow our ideals to enslave us, the grimmer our situation will become. Hopefully some breakthrough opportunity will present itself eventually, and you've got the look of someone who just might be able to accomplish that. If you're ever ready to be that opportunity, let me know and I'll assign you something important. What else? Yes, still if she's heard any interesting. Are you familiar with the continent comprised of nothing but wastelands far to the east of New LA? We're receiving reports of non-naturally occurring structures in that region. We need to find some answers about who built these structures and what became of them, and do it fast. I guess I'll have to post a mission for the Pathfinders division. Ooh, she's foreshadowing some world building. And look at this. We have interactables in the hub, and they're way out of our league. I'm not gonna give you the tour. We're gonna go on this side. I think they kind of expect you to go to the left here, but we'll be going to the left in a bit for the story, so we'll just go down this way.
Yeah?
Exploring an uncharted planet is no easy task. For the sake of efficiency, it's important that each division performs its own assigned duty. I can't believe I've been playing 30 minutes. Blade Concourse. There's not really much on this side, which is why it doesn't go there. That's what Trevor has to say. The members of each division have their own responsibilities, but mine is primarily guard duty. Lately there have been reports of dangerous indigens appearing near the gate entrances to the city. That's why we've sealed the gates and taken a defensive posture. We've tightened our guard to the extent that there's absolutely no chance of an indigen infiltrating the city. But now I hear that Elma had some new guy already slaughtered the Grex packet that prowled outside the west gate. So I guess we all ought to thank Team Elma for their successful counteroffensive. And just Elma's straight up ignoring that.
What's wrong?
Yeah, if you play as Elma, I wonder if the dialogue is different.
This sucks.
Carl is pathetic. I put him on indigen control duty and he still hasn't killed a single one. If I didn't have so many duties of my own, I'd march right up to him and spank him like the insolent child he is. Hey, if you're headed that way, could you give Carl a message for me? He'll be the one loitering out in front of the arms he'll be the one loitering out in front of the arms manufacturer's building. Tell him to pull his head out and get his work done before Trevor has to stick. He'll taste shoe polish for a month. Yeah. Alright. I just want to see... That was a very colorful way of putting it. Let's see if his dialogue is different when you're Elma. That's right. It's something you can't just... You have to hit confirm changes to switch this. And yes, you can play as some of the other characters. Most people don't realize this because you're just kind of expect to stay as the avatar the whole time. But...
What's wrong?
This is just a thing. Oh no, his dialogue is the same. And he's facing Elma. That's pretty interesting. They did not think that far in advance. I know I guess because there's a lot more characters. We're gonna find Carl though, because there's a couple interactions like this. They're not on my list of things that we're gonna do, but since we found this one, let's do it. Alright people, remember that each of us bears the weight of humanity's very existence upon our shoulders. And it's daytime. I was hoping we would avoid that.
All this experience just serves to make me stronger.
Arms manufacturers. Here he is. Aren't there any wealthy blades anywhere who are willing to donate resources to the arms manufacturers? It'll really help speed up the creation of new equipment.
What? Great.
The gate over there? The east one? Can you believe how long it's been sealed? This is really getting to be a hassle. Huh? You want to know why people can pass through the west gate but not this east one? Well, New LA is just the residential unit of a ship that's been hastily reconstructed into a city. It wasn't exactly built with ease of access in mind. The west gate entrance is where the passage to the White Whale's maintenance management area used to be. I'm surprised you didn't know that. Everybody know. Oh! Are you that newly discovered crew member? You are, aren't you? Hey, welcome to New LA. Alright.
What?
Man, I'm as excited about my next mission as I am about my next root canal. You wanna swap? No, just kidding. I mean, I'd love to swap, but if Trevor found out that I'd passed a mission off, he'd tear me a new one. Trevor's as strict as they come, and no mistake, you'd never want to get on his bad side. I now if we talk to Trevor, it will complete the interaction. We can jump this high.
What's wrong? This sucks.
Oh, it's doing the same thing. Well, alright, I don't know how to go through that, but let's just see this on the affinity chart. So, as you can see, the affinity chart has been updated with some new characters. And the affinity chart will basically be a nice shorthand way to see what everybody thinks of each other. So, I believe this is Maurice. This man feels that favorable outcomes demand sacrifice, a stance that leads to frequent clashes with Nagi. Alright, and Stella. Let's just see what... Carl. An interceptor with immature fashion sense and a mouth to match. I don't know, I'm pretty sure Trevor had more of a mouth. An interceptor having a hard time with Blade's rookie personnel. So, as you can see, these relationships showed up while we were talking to them. Trevor wants Carl to get his work done. Carl says Trevor is as strict as they come. This is handy for if you just take a long break from the game and you want to look at side quests. It's also just handy if you want to look at stuff. There's an extra important thing for us and the other playable characters. As you can see, there's this gauge of hearts. I think I already talked about this, but this gates affinity missions and heart to hearts. So you want to fill this up. Alright. Let's go. To the Blade Barracks.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks. Consider yourself our guest until we finish getting you registered. Feel free to come and go as you please.
Ask about registration. Frown and say nothing. I don't know. We're more interested in listening to me blab than Elma, so...
Is there a problem here? So, you must be the latest rescue.
Secretary Nagi.
Ms. Ku. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I thought it was
ran
Lee.
into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
No. Nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work out there.
Just doing my job, Mr. Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here,
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
Ah yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
I'll put on some tea.
That's Nagi. He's our boss, kind of. Well, he's going to be our boss. We haven't been hired yet. I c- Yeah, this part's long.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until he knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
Well then, where should we begin?
Alright, we have to go through all of this. It's kind of... So what do we want to go first? Do we want to ask about how we landed on Mira? We kind of saw this in the cutscene, so let's not do that. Ask for information about Blade or ask about registration. We're going to ask about Blade.
Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
Take a look at this. The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
Alright, I think I bumped my mic a bit there. Kind of pushing it. Just kind of pushed it. Alright. Alright, we can't see, it wants us to do all of it. That's why we got all this. So, we're gonna ask how we ended up here.
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations. Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth-Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Those of us who escaped on the White Whale spent over 2 years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission, find a habitable planet and settle there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat.
That was an awkward cut.
Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
Alright, so let's ask about Blade registration.
Yes. All citizens of
Oh.
NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Koo, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir. Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
Alright. And then Elma are gonna show us around town. I'm just not gonna stay here, let's talk to her. It's a region! As you explore the administrative district, think about what sort of life you'd like to lead here in New LA. Take all the time you need. I'll be here whenever you're ready. So, let's just take a walk around the Blade Barracks while we're here. We're gonna spend not much time in here, but some time. I'll probably spend at least a couple hours in here, maybe. Probably just one, if at most. Here we've got the kitchen. It doesn't really show up outside of cutscenes much. Over here is the briefing room. Most of the main story missions start here, with basically the exceptions being the ones we've already begun. This console, which we can't use yet, will allow us to customize it. This room is empty. We're gonna be able to fill it with holo figures later on. It's basically trophies for beating tyrants and bosses and other stuff. Over here, sleeping quarters. Like other rest spots, all it does is let us change the time. If we go here, I forget the name of this place, but here's where we can access time attack missions and also multiplayer content. Normally there's a bunch of other players' characters here, but since we haven't started multiplayer yet, it's all good. And this is going to be... This is our hangar for when we get some cool stuff that we're going to find out about in just a moment. So now that that's out of the way, let's go see what Lynn has to show us.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that Skell. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
And that's what the hangar is for. Eventually we're going to get out. Eventually we're going to get that. One of those. Multiple of those. We're gonna geek out because they're heckin' cool, and we get a very cool tidbit about Lynn from this.
Now this guy gets it. Aren't they just the coolest? Just everything about them. The lasers, the force fields, the bipedal and vehicular transformations. You ever have that dream where you're inside one and it's just transforming over and over and over? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Actually,
I don't.
I don't normally show this to people, but I've been working on some Skell fan fiction. Hold on, I'll just pull it up here one sec.
I hope
Lynn?
my audio's going right. I hope this is not too bad.
Right. Sorry.
Don't stop her, Elma.
Originally, Skells were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far, so fast, without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They choose you, not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
I guess it might be worth
Speaking
getting a
of
job
work,
so we can
that
get a robot.
reminds me. Why don't we check out the mission control board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
Alright, before we do, I need the bathroom. I've been holding it for a while. I thought I could do it till the end of the chapter, but I cannot. So please stand by. I really need to get a bathroom break screen. I am back. You are presently hearing why I said we should not be in New LA at day. The daytime music in New LA is one of people's biggest complaints about this game. It's not too bad, but it is pretty annoying. So let's head out to the Blade Concourse. Or Concourse, or whatever it's pronounced.
So this is mission control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is...
Oh yeah. So that icon in the top right,
free to post here.
it means that
Citizens,
we can
whoever.
move the camera
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updated.
during the scene.
Just about every Blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of Blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the Scout Console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the Scout Console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Hey,
How the heck am I supposed to pull off this job myself? It's madness! Madness! Or hey, you wanna come along and help? So, yeah, we can't do this yet. Alright. I'm thinking we're probably not gonna get to chapter 2 today, unfortunately. So, I'll show you this in more depth later, but let's talk to Eleanor, because she kind of runs this place. This is mission control. As a Blade, you can... Oh, I see you haven't yet registered as a Blade. Perfect. She knows my name. Well, if you do register and join a division, you'll be able to accept missions right here. I understand that you haven't yet decided what role you wish to play here in New LA, and that's fine. But I believe you would make a splendid Blade. Yeah, I think I would too. Trust me, I've seen off countless Blades standing right here. I know talent when I see it. Alright.
Yes?
Let's see what else she has to say. My name is Eleanor, and I serve as Blade's receptionist. Most missions are managed through the terminal, but if you need to make a special report, please speak to me. Additionally, if you have any questions about your assignments, feel free to ask me anything. If there is anything that I can do to help, I hope you'll let me be of service. Now go do your best, Perfect. I expect great things from you. Of course she does. My name is Perfect. I kinda got a high standard to live up to.
Ta-da! The Blade Scout Console. When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout Console. You know, to get tougher.
If you do end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is.
It's
A
not!
lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one Blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other Blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell Blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
Is that where we can get one of these? I want one. So, I feel like this part is probably the... If you have a scale license, you can buy a scale from the shop terminal in Armory Alley. Man, I love living in the future. So, this part of the game is probably the most cringy part. Just boring tutorials that really could have just been screens instead of cutscenes. And the dialogue just feels a bit stilted, like they just have to do it. It's worth it to get through this. So, because it blocks off most of the game. Alright, she wants us to go in the middle.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie, most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell?
Yes, I can. I've done it before.
Huh? Oh, right, the door. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
And this is why we go to the left before. Any Blade can use the terminal there to purchase new weapons and protective wear.
Am I right?
We're out of amplification lenses and can't make any of Granada GG's trademark beam weapons. Go tell our colleagues in the industrial district to hurry up and make more. Alright, let's see what Fritz has to say.
Working hard? I can tell you.
If you join Blade, you'll be able to use the shop terminal in Armory Alley to buy armaments from the city's various arms manufacturers. And once you acquire a skill license, you'll be able to buy skills from there as well. When that happy day comes, I hope you'll consider buying one of the high-quality skills from my company, Sakuraba Industries.
Working hard? Thank you.
The arms manufacturers have been asked to prioritize new weapons development, but that sort of work requires resources and money. And there aren't any large investors in New LA, so we have to seek capital and uranium from individual blades. The amounts of investment provided by each is small, but merge enough small streams and you end up with a mighty river. At least, that's what we're counting on. If you join Blade, I hope you'll consider investing in your preferred arms manufacturers. Do we want to talk to her? Let's talk to her. We sell strange and unusual stuff my husband picks up out on the job. He's a pathfinder, so he's always finding crazy space junk and whatnot. I don't have to show you anything right now, unfortunately, but check back later. Should be back in a little while with a new haul that'll blow your battle socks clean off. Battle socks sound cool and I want some. Hopefully they're better than real socks. Because the problem with real socks is that, like, you can't run around in them on carpet or it'll just destroy them. I like running around a lot and that just... I am a sock murderer. Yes, exactly. But I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to entertain the possibility of it being true. I'm just going to stay positive and hold on to hope, so please don't ask again. What happens if I ask again?
Whatever.
Okay, she is going to keep saying the same thing. This shop's gonna be special. It's not gonna open up for a while. But when it does... Actually, I don't know if you can actually buy anything from it. But it's related to some characters we'll meet later on. Your accuracy improves when attacking foes from behind it. It's also easier to hit their weak points. You must always pay attention to positioning when you fight. Level 2, we'll get to this later. Stella, we already talked to. The suspension on the scale is completely wrecked. It must have put up a good fight against the Xenos when we made our emergency landing.
Listen.
Every category of Indigen has a weakness to something. For example, flame-based attacks are particularly effective against steroids. These are things I did not know.
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chassan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us
Hard to nod.
or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
It would be funny if they would just pause their dialogue when you're not looking at them and like chide you for being rude. Alright. Overwrite previous save data. Do we do this? I don't think there's been any trouble. Then again, if it hasn't, wouldn't have told me yet because haven't gotten online. I'm kind of sad that nobody's showed up yet, but this is gonna be the most boring stream of the game, so. This building we can't go into just any time. It's really only accessible in certain cutscenes, so I want to make sure in one of those cutscenes to look behind us, because that's not something people really look at, and I want to see what there is to say. See what it... Poppin'. This game has trouble with poppin'. If you have the American version of this game, even though the stuff that was DLC in the Japanese version is included, there's still DLC in the American version, and all that does is just make things load faster, render a bit better. I'd recommend downloading it before the eShop closes down. Surrella's the important one, I think. Oh man, nothing beats skills through the wide open fields of Primordia. You guys gotta get your skill license post-haste. Chop chop. Also, is skellin a weird word? Yeah, Surreella is the one I meant to talk to, not Stella. Oh, have you come to see the town helper? I'm sorry, what? You don't know who the town helper is? It's me, silly. I'm a mediator, but I started dabbling on the side. I teach weapon skills, offer equipment tips, deliver lost items, give life advice. Folks just started calling me the town helper. I kind of like it, to be honest. She gives us... Either she or Stella, I think, gives us one of the best chain of side quests. Just because it unlocks a lot of other side quests. Defense Secretary Nagi came out to greet the new crew member personally. You must be expecting big things from him. That's right. I am. I am the book Great Expectations by... Was that Dickens? It's been 4th grade since I read that. I don't know.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone.
Oh, he will.
Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
So, I'm only gonna do this. I want a Skell. I want to join Blade because I want that sweet Skell. I don't care so much about having a job, but having a robot is kind of worth it. But I'm going to say no first. I watched a bit of this other Let's Play. In an hour and a half, the Let's Player got here, and she chose this because I believe her name had Aurora in it, and her profile picture had something to do. It was like a lobster or something. It's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know where to find it. I'll try and put the link in the VOD. Anyway, she showed this. She showed us this because she thought it was worth showing, and it is. So now I'll show you.
Ms. Ku, how much do
Just
you know
the
about
shot.
life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
This guy's got away with
So did you
words.
have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend?
Yeah, she wanted to show the shot of his face, which we can see again if we say no again.
Ahem. Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend?
I mean, I kind of would. I just want the robot. Can we skip the blade part?
You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right?
And I believe it loops here. It's one of the
You said
Nintendo
no,
no's.
you wouldn't
Yep,
refuse. That's a yes, right?
it's a Nintendo no, which is what I like to call it when they don't actually give you a choice, because they do that a lot in Nintendo games. I remember them doing that a lot in Pokemon before you get your first Pokemon, so on the one hand, it gives you the. I don't know whether it's a good design decision. It makes it feel a bit more interactive, but at the same time, it kind of ruins any sense of you can actually choose stuff, because you just. You really can't. You have to say yes eventually. So, well, let's get that robot.
I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
You're the only child here.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment.
Ah,
We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pathway within the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go.
sorry.
Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a Blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah. Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe.
I like Lynn, she's so enthusiastic. Alright, so we're starting chapter 2. I'm kind of annoyed with it automatically starting one at the end of the other. Because I kind of wanted to separate this into the videos more smoothly. I'm sorry, we don't really have time to do the rest of chapter 2 today, so I'm just gonna go see if we can check out more detailed stuff we've already done. Installing data probes is one of Blade's most fundamental duties, but that's a lesson perhaps best taught in the field. I'd like you to accompany Elma to see exactly what I mean. This will be your first Blade mission. You can expect to be compensated if it's completed to our satisfaction. Now show us what you can do. I can customize my room, right? What?
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
Most of them aren't that furry, though. It was probably Arena and Grin. We never went over that way.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does he know Arena and Gwyn?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
Nah. Please just let me buy some stuff. I wanna explain to my viewers how the stuff they just showed me worked. That would fit so much better in this episode than in the next episode. Ugh. This is Eleanor, a Blade support lead, here to tell you that the segment map is now available for use. The map displayed on your handheld comm device is a useful tool with lots of info about Mira. Give it a look if you're unsure of where you are or what to do. Alright. But we've discovered things, we've discovered landmarks. It is currently empty. Right now it's just a mini-map. It'll get some extra functionality in a teeny bit. I'm not expecting the scout console to work. Where the heck am I supposed? Oh. I don't want to do this in the next episode. Ugh. I shouldn't have spent so much time goofing off. Probably could have done both of these. All right, just at least let me go. At least let me go to the rest of NLA, right? Here we go. This is it. Alright. We're gonna go back to where that, So we got 3 minutes and 37 seconds for the plane ride. We're gonna just head back to where that is. And by running, we're gonna see if it would have been faster to walk there. And region discovered. I'm not even in it. So yeah, we're gonna see if it's faster to walk there. I should have gone underwater because it's probably I can already feel it's gonna be faster. So don't want to fall. It's okay if you can fall. You can always get back up.
Hey,
thank heaven for scales. I don't know how we could have faced some of these larger primordial creatures. Repenta Diner. What's Dr. Fry?
Yeah.
What does that huge number at the top of Blade Tower mean? No one seems to know anything about it. How weird is that? 58%. It only went down 2%. It probably can't be that important.
Hey, give me another.
Everything that's ever happened in this wretched world was all leading up to this one drink. Ah. Hey Pa, you come here to raise a glass full, Fry? The scotch in this dump ain't so bad, you know. You should have one. Or 3.
Am I right?
You'll need a license before you can pilot a scout, which makes sense. Those things are way too precious to risk letting some amateur hot rodder wrap one around a tree. Alright. Hey, look, the west gate's open now too. We've got mostly free reign. I work with data probes and they still blow my mind. Oh yeah! The cars don't have collisions, I forgot that. Alright. Last thing of the night. We're gonna race. We got 3 minutes, 37 seconds to get to Blade Tower. Ready, set, go. I had to tap my phone. Awkward. It's unfortunate we don't have
Am I right?
it's unfortunate we don't have I mean, I wish we had fast travel, because then if we had fast travel, this would have more suspense. I bet we're gonna make it with plenty of time. What was the actual thing I was gonna say we wished for? This is the problem with having ADHD and not writing notes and expecting to stay cohesive for like an hour and a half of talking to people. It's just a minute. This is, yeah. Which way to the elevator? Wait. Nope. The best overheard dialogue in the game is in this area. So jump physics on elevators. Come on. It loses collisions before it goes down.
Well,
I'll strive to be as passionate about filling your duties as Justin. Alright.
Hey,
Any blade can use that terminal there to purchase new weapons and protective wear. Not me. I'm Blade. They just haven't. And if we get to where this pilot is, 2 minutes 7 seconds. It took us, this plane trip took us a whole minute and a half longer than it would have done by foot. Well, I really wish we could have had time for the rest of chapter 2. We can do that next time though. For now, this will be the end. Thank you guys all for watching so much. Please have a good night. God bless you, and until next time, happy Tuesday.